Hello and welcome to Let Me Be Your Game Guide. This is a little bonus episode about a little demo games. Join us as we preview games and share our first impressions for the remainder of this episode. Let me be your demo guide. Welcome back to 12 Days of Demos, 11 Pipers Piping.
We're getting really loopy goofy now that we're getting to the end.
Yeah.
Now that today is Christmas Eve.
That's true. Yeah. Merry
I'm so
Christmas
excited
Eve.
for Christmas tomorrow.
Hopefully you guys get to open up an early present. That's always our thing on Christmas
Oh.
Eve. You get to open one present up.
That's not our tradition at all.
What?
To me, that's like anathema.
Oh, no. Because then you got to get, like, the spirit going, like, oh, you get something to play with that night and you see your family, and then Christmas is where the big stuff happens.
I've been in the Christmas spirit since like August.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
for sure.
We always opened like a board game.
Oh,
that's fun.
Yeah,
That's
so
a
like
good
the
one.
night before Christmas Eve, we would open a gift, and it was like a board game that my parents had picked out, and then we would play the game on Christmas Eve.
That's
on
cool.
Christmas
Yeah.
Eve, my mom would usually be wrapping gifts still.
Oh,
Love you, Mom. Like, just
Oh,
that's
yeah.
how our life works.
No,
you know?
that's normally how it. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. It kind of depends. My wife sometimes will wrap them up early, but yeah, normally we give like a small thing. Like we'll give you one
Yeah.
small gift. You get to choose from like this one or this one, and it's smaller, and then save the big stuff for Christmas.
yeah.
So speaking of small things, we're here to talk about demos.
That's true.
I like that segue.
That was a
Nice.
good
That
one.
was
I'm a professional.
good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Wow.
dude.
And now I've lost my train of thought.
Oh.
Anyways, we're going to talk about a demo today. This is a demo that Emma played for, did I already say 11 Pipers Piping? I did because I remember laughing about it. Tell us what you played.
Well, not in the Christmas spirit at all. I played a horror game, and it was called Full Fathom. And Full Fathom is a survival horror game that takes place in the ocean.
Oh, gosh.
That sounds scary.
It was awful. Not in a way that the game was bad, but I was so scared. Before I get into it, it was developed by Damon House and published by Damon House. I could find nothing about who is on this team.
Ooh, cryptids.
I know, but I'm going to do a little bit more research. I'm going to try and dig a little bit deeper. If I can figure anything out, I will make sure to link it in the show notes. But the release date is set for 2024. That's
Getting
about
pretty
it.
close.
Yeah, I don't know.
Any minute now.
It might be out by now. I have no idea. But when I played this game, Hayden had already gone to bed, and it was very dark. And I was like, I can do this. This will be fine. I'm already scared of the ocean. The idea of the ocean scares the shit out of me. And I took a picture because the premise, and I don't know if this is going to be the premise of the full game, but right when you start playing, basically they say that, actually I'll read it because I took a picture of it.
I'm looking at it right now, and it does look very creepy.
Yeah, it's unnerving. Nothing actually creepy happened to me while I was playing it, but I was very scared. So it starts out and it says, in August of last year, a standard 1990 PS hermetic trunk was recovered from the coast of Kagoshima, Japan. Inside this trunk, a collection of tapes were recovered. Cursory research revealed that this trunk was in use by Harvard IOA Research Group, which went missing in 1991 following the Eurasian incident. Oddly,
The Eurasian incident?
yeah, I don't know what it is.
All right.
But yeah, Eurasian incident. Oddly, this trunk and its contents defy usual radiocarbon dating results and contain trace biological elements not yet documented. These have led to this trunk being classified as anomalous evidence related to the incident in 1991. Review and restore the tapes and determine the cause of the discrepancy. So you start out in this like room, and unfortunately, I had to play mouse and keyboard, which I hate. But it was fine. I figured it out. There wasn't a lot of instruction on how, like, what the controls were. And because I don't play regularly on mouse and keyboard, it took me a second. I know that it's like WSDA is usually to move, E is usually to interact with things. That was about all I knew.
F to melee.
Oh, that.
Oh, good move. Yeah.
But you start out in a room and you're like interacting with some objects. It was pretty clunky with the mouse. Like if you clicked on something and like went to move it, I had to like really move my mouse over and over and over again just to get it to slide over. So it was kind of...
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. I don't know if this was meant for VR.
Oh.
It felt a little VR-ish. Again, I should have looked into that more. But so you find a tape and you put it in, and then it starts playing and you're underwater in this submarine, and then you kind of transport in, and the rest of the demo is played like you are the person in the tape.
Okay.
So now you're playing.
That's kind of a fun concept. Yeah.
Yeah. And so the survival of it all is maintaining this decrepit submarine that you're on by yourself. You have to go out and like scavenge for fuel and resources and all sorts of stuff. And my mission was to get to a certain data point, like travel there, but then it ended up running out of gas. And so I had to leave the submarine and swim through the ocean. And the weird thing was when I went out, it was like a whole city that was underground.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. So it was
But
like,
it was spooky?
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It was like dark. And like houses that have been like demolished. There was like a person, but it looked like they got like burnt in place. Huge fish were swimming past me. And as they were swimming past me, it sounded like they were sniffing me. And I was like, please don't eat me.
Oh.
Yeah. So it just took me such a long time to figure out the controls and exactly what I was supposed to do. I played for a really long time and nothing scary happened. So I did start getting comfortable, but I ran out of gas. I found some new gas. I could not figure out how to get the dang submarine powered again. But I don't know. It might have been a little too much for me. I might have been too scared.
Like it's just so tense the whole time. That sounds exhausting.
Yeah. I was just tired. So for people that enjoy survival horror games, I think this one is good. Definitely like the deep sea aspect of it all, but not just deep sea, like something anomalous, like something weird. There's something off, and I would be interested to know exactly what's happening, but I don't know if I would actually buy the game and play it to figure it out.
Yeah, and I looked on Steam to see some of the photos and stuff, and it does get that very VR-y vibe.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely see that. And yeah, the whole thing is like trying to maintain the submarine so you can figure out what's going on. And it's like, oh man, that's tense.
Yeah,
Like,
survival games can be a bit much for me. I wanted to give it a try just because I don't play them very much. But again, maybe if I had some more instruction, it was just hard because I figured out where to put the gas canister or the fuel canister that I had scavenged from a house. I was all proud of myself, and then it still showed empty, and I was like, oh, what do I do? There is like a little robot. It's like a TV screen, almost like an AI that's kind of talking to you.
mm-hmm.
Very like 90s, very much 90s seeming. Did you want to say something?
I'm looking at this picture. Are these your feet?
Let me see.
Like, okay, I know it's been a bit since we body shamed on the podcast.
Yeah. I think those are feet.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I
That's
didn't
all.
personally see my feet when I was playing, but I don't think I ever looked. So
That also is a good indication of it being like VR. Like maybe you're looking down at your
yeah,
creepy feet.
yeah.
Well, and like
The horror.
just the way that like yeah,
the
watch
jump
out. Oh, yeah. Just the way like I saw that you have like a suitcase or something, like a kit that you can like put stuff into, and the way that it's pulled out is like you hold it up with one hand and then it like folds down, and that's how you store your stuff.
Yeah.
That seems very VR-y, but
Yeah. So, I mean, I think maybe if this is meant for VR, I think it could be a really fun virtual reality game.
Yeah.
Very scary. Even if nothing scary happens, you're still on your toes.
yeah, it definitely has some like darker, like BioShocky vibes, kind of. I don't know.
It's very green.
Very green and murky.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like
Full-
the picture with the big fish.
Oh, yeah. I didn't like those
Yeah.
because they're like,
Oh,
That's weird.
creepy.
yeah, I don't know.
So I'm
But,
trying to eat you.
Huh.
yeah.
I want to play a game like this where it's not spooky, where you're just looking at all the animals under the water.
There are Subnautica is kind of like that.
Yeah.
But maybe Subnautica is
Isn't
kind of scary
Subnautica
too.
spooky too?
It might be.
I don't
I
know.
think it's only a touch because, like,
Yeah, I don't think it's super scary.
I don't think it's super scary. Like, the boys play it and it's not
Oh,
scary.
okay. For some reason, I thought it was spooky. Maybe I'm thinking of something different.
I mean, the ocean is just scary. Even if it's not meant to be scary, it might
That's
still
true.
creep people out. Anyways, that was Full Fathom.
Join us tomorrow for the next demo of 12 Days of Demos. Give the podcast 5 stars if you liked what you heard. You can email us with any comments, questions, or constructive criticism at letmebeyourgg@gmail.com. You can also send us any game requests if there is something you would like us to review. You can find us on Instagram at letmebeyourgg, and our Patreon can be found at patreon.com/letmebeyourgg. Thank you for listening. We can't wait to see you tomorrow, and thank you so much for letting me be your demo guide. GG, y'all.
Bye.